Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be playing with a bunch of brand new Westman Atelier. So if you're curious to see how I created this full face of Westman Atelier and hear my thoughts on these brand new products, keep watching. I picked up one of the powder blush duos, and then I picked up two of the baby cheeks and face trace sculpting powder duos. So I picked up three of the new products. I'm going to swatch all three for you, and then we're going to use those today to create a full face of Westman Atelier. I am really excited for these new products. When I was placing my order, I did also pick up a lipstick because I had never tried the lipstick. So I'm going to be using the new lipstick as well today, but I really am so excited to open up these products and swatch them and apply them. I will do a few swatch comparisons to other Westman Atelier products, but in this video, I will not be doing any swatch comparisons to other products. So I'm going to start by opening all three, swatching all three, and then we will do the full face of Westman Atelier. These have a 24-month shelf life and are made in Italy. So here is the first one, and I am going to go ahead and put my glasses on so that I can read the back of them and tell you guys which ones I have. So this is the blush shade Tulle and the contour shade Truffle. So there's the blush. That is a beautiful baby pink. And then here's the contour shade Truffle. And I am going to go ahead and take the contour stick, and this is in shade Truffle, just so you guys can see the comparison. And that was such an awful swatch. But I did want to at least show you guys the powder version of Truffle versus the cream contour shade in Truffle. And next is Petal and Biscuit. Now I actually do have a powder blush in the shade Petal. It was a limited edition product that was in one of her holiday sets. I did pick it up. I do have it out, so I am going to swatch it up and see what the difference is. And this is the shade Biscuit. So I left a little bit of space there so I could swatch the other Petal blush that I have. That is definitely a lighter contour shade. Here is the blush that I have in Petal. I remember using this and loving it. It's not one that I use very often, only because it was limited edition and you guys couldn't get it. So it does look very similar. It felt very similar, so I'm pretty confident that that is the same formula. And I do also have the contour, the cream contour in shade Biscuit, so I'll go ahead and swatch that. That was a much better swatch. So those were the two powder sculpting duos, and the blush duo that I got is Suede and Sable. So I believe this shade right here is Suede, and then this shade right here is Sable. So that actually looks very similar to the Petal blush. That is very light. Like, I'm now going in a third time, so that is very sheer. I'm now going to take the blush shade in Petal and swatch it up against that Suede. They're similar, but they are different. So I liked all of the swatches with the exception of this blush shade right here. That blush shade really did not show up. However, the other one, I think this is Suede, it showed up very nicely. I thought it was very pretty. So I am excited to see what it looks like on the cheeks. I was very excited to see Westman Atelier come out with powder blushes. I really loved the formula of the original Petal that I tried. I thought it was beautiful, and I really thought that it was kind of like a test piece and that more shades would come, and it never happened. So I'm glad that it finally is here and we have some powder blushes. For primer today, I'm going to be using the Victoria Beckham. The Westman Atelier foundation that I have is a stick foundation, and it is a little bit more matte. So I am going in with a more moisturizing primer. Now she does have a very dewy foundation, and I have tried it. I have tried it multiple times. It just did not work for me. I just could never get it to work for my skin. The foundation stick is all right. It's definitely not my favorite. Now I have a shade Atelier 4. I am hopeful though that at some point soon Westman Atelier will come out with another liquid foundation. The concealer that came out last year is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I love the concealer. I think it's really, really good. So I would really like to see more complexion products similar to that concealer. So I think for me, this is just a personal preference, and I prefer a more fuller coverage foundation. And I don't think that I get the amount of coverage that I like from the foundation stick. So if you like a lighter foundation coverage, you may actually really like the Westman Atelier complexion stick. I just prefer a little bit more coverage. I'm going to leave the coverage pretty light and just go in with the concealer where I want to build up those areas. If I would continue to build it up, it does start to show texture. So I'm not going to do that, and I will just go in with some concealer. And I just completely forgot, I do also have these brand new bronzing drops, which I am going to use today as well. So I'm definitely going to have to do several Westman Atelier videos or several videos using these products, because I do want to see what these blushes look like on their own. Or maybe I can do one side of the face with the bronzing drops, one side without the bronzing drops. That's what I'll do. All right, I'm going to go in with the concealer, and I have shade Atelier M2. And I am going in kind of heavy-handed with the concealer, only because, like I mentioned, I do want a little bit extra coverage. And I think that the concealer gives great coverage. It is perfect for mature skin. It doesn't cause any creasiness. It doesn't emphasize any texture. That is amazing how much more coverage I got with just that little bit of concealer. So this is the Sun Tone Bronzing Drops, and I have shade Soleil Parfait 2. So I'm going to shake it up because it is pretty liquidy. Now these are only a 6-month shelf life, probably because it is a liquid versus the powder. I'm going to take a little bit out to the back of my hand. That's what it looks like. I'm going to go in with my Sonia G Sheer Buffer, blend it out, and then apply it to the face. And like I said, I'm just going to do it on one side so you guys can see the difference. Those are definitely deeper than I was expecting. I think they're very pretty though. I don't know what I was expecting. I did not have high expectations, if I'm being honest, but I really, really like that. You can definitely see the difference. My left side where I applied the bronzing drops definitely got that bronzy glow. So this is a yes for me. I am really, really excited, and I cannot wait to continue to play with this in my looks. You can also mix these with your moisturizer to give yourself a bronzy glow in the summertime, and I am really excited for summer to try that. So I'm going to take the powder. This is the Vital Skincare Pressed Powder, and I have shade Creme. So I'm just going to really quickly powder my face. This is not my favorite powder. It's very expensive, and it's very, very small, but it is very soft. It's just for what you get. It's so small. For today, I'm going to be using the shade Biscuit. So I'm going to go in with the Sculpting powder. I do think that that is very pretty. I don't know that it is special, if that makes sense. Like, I just reviewed the new DUOS bronzers. Those I really, really loved. I really, really love those. This is nice. I don't know that it is worth the $75 price tag. But it is pretty. It is pretty, and I will definitely use it. Now I'm going to go in with the blush. Again, this is shade Petal. This is a beautiful, beautiful pink blush. And I think what I'm going to do is tomorrow I will film another video using these other two palettes, or these other two duos, and I will insert that clip. You guys can see those other two duos on the cheeks. I mean, that petal shade is gorgeous. I really, really like it. So I love the blush a lot more than I love the contour or sculpting part of the duo. My left side with the bronzing drops is definitely deeper. But let me know what you guys think of the duo so far. What do you think about this shade? What do you think of the formula? Like I said, I think that the blush is gorgeous. I can definitely see myself reaching for the blush a lot more than I can the sculpting powder, but that could just be my personal preference. I do really love a cream contour. I love a powder bronzer and a cream contour. This isn't a bronzer. This is a sculpting powder. So it is supposed to contour. It's not supposed to bronze. I just don't know that I can use a powder contour. I have other powder contours. I never reach for them, but I do know that there are plenty of people out there who do prefer powder and they prefer a powder contour. So for them, this might actually be the perfect duo because that blush is gorgeous. It is very, very beautiful. And the true test will be how does it wear throughout the day, and I will leave a pinned comment down below letting you guys know how this wore throughout the day. Now to finish off this full face of Westman Atelier, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Westman Atelier iPods, and we're just going to create a real quick, easy look. Now these are the only Westman Atelier eye products that I have, so I have probably created this look numerous times. It's the only ones that I have. So I'm going to start with shade Mink, and I'm going to grab Mink and place it in my crease. I did not prime my eyes today. I honestly just forgot. As I was applying this powder, I was like, wait, I never primed my eyes. That's okay. Like I mentioned, I'm not really going anywhere, staying in. I don't remember what the name of this trio of eyeshadows was. I will leave it down below and I will link it for you guys if you are interested, but I do think that it is very, very pretty. And take a Sonia G blender and go into this deep brown. I think this is called shade Smudge. It's really, really hard to see the name because that's all glitter. Look how pigmented that is. This eye look might be a little bit deeper than I anticipated. I went in really, really heavy with this dark shade. Let me know down below what your guys' favorite Westman Atelier product is. I think my favorite of all her products is, it's a toss-up. It's either the cream blushes or the cream contours. They are both really, really good. And probably if I had to choose, I think it would be the cream blushes. I think that they are really, really good. They're beautiful shades. The formula is really, really nice. I am a huge fan. And the last shade is called Fete. This is more of like a glitter topper. I'm going to go back in with that Mink shade and just add a little bit more in the crease. And this is just a beautiful taupe, shimmery taupe. I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes with the Westman Atelier eyeliner. This is just their black shade. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Westman Atelier mascara. And then we'll be back and I'll show you guys the brand new lipstick that I picked up. Here is the finished eye look. I think it looks beautiful. The Westman Atelier eyeliner is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend it. It glides on very easily. It lasts all day. And it's very, very beautiful. Now for the brand new lipstick that I picked up. She released these lipsticks last year, I think it was, and I did not ever pick any of them up. So I went ahead and picked up the shade Piqu. Looks like a beautiful nude, kind of like rosewood nude shade. So here's the packaging. I love the packaging. I wasn't expecting it to look like this. It's really, really nice. And then here is the shade that I got. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's got the beautiful heart detail on the side of the lipstick. It's really, really pretty. It looks like swatched. I think it's going to look beautiful on. I love this formula. I was expecting it to be really, really thick and matte. It is very, very soft, and it just glided on. That is beautiful. Wow. It doesn't feel like it's gonna last very long though. All right, so it says Lip Suede Matte Lipstick. It does not feel like a matte lipstick. It doesn't look like a matte. It doesn't feel like a matte. It is so comfortable on the lips. And I love this shade. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these new Westman Atelier lipsticks and let me know what you guys think of them. I wasn't expecting to like this either as much as I do. And I really do like that. All right, I am back for my second look using these Westman Atelier powder duos. So the two that I have left are the Baby Cheeks and Face Trace Sculpting Powder Duo in shade Tulle and Truffle. So I am going to use that on one side. So it has this beautiful pink blush and it's got the truffle as the sculpting powder. And then I also have a blush and powder duo, which I think that this shade right here, I'm going to try and kind of use it as a bronzer. That is the blush and it is in shade Suede and Sable. So the Sable is the blush, Suede is the more bronzy looking shade. So we're going to see. We're going to see how those two look on the cheeks. We're going to start with Truffle. Now Truffle is the shade that I use in the contour stick. It's a perfect shade for me. I thought that the powder one looked a little bit deep. Yeah, I'm still not blown away with the powder, the sculpting powder. I do think that a cream contour looks better. But that's just me. I mean, that is totally personal preference. But I think that the cream contour just looks better on the skin than this powder. Now I'm going to go in with the blush. This is in shade Tulle. That's really pretty. I'm excited to see how it shows up on the cheeks. Now I think this shade paired on top of that sculpting powder looks beautiful. I think if I were to wear this shade on its own, I think it would be too bubblegum pink, but paired on top of that brown, it's very pretty. That's really nice. I think when I use this, I will definitely be using those two shades together, even though I don't necessarily think that that sculpting powder is anything spectacular. You know, it's not, it doesn't wow me. That blush on top of it's very pretty. All right, I cleaned off my brush and now I'm going to go in with this shade. I think this shade, Suede, is going to make a beautiful bronzy shade, but we'll see. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I definitely like this blush duo more than I like the sculpting. That is very pretty. So wiped off my brush and now I will go in to the blush in shade Sable. Love. This is definitely my favorite. Of all three that I tried, the blush one is hands down my favorite. I think that it is very pretty. You can see, aside that I use Truffle, the sculpting powder, my face does appear more sculpted than the side without it. Maybe there is something to be said for these sculpting powders, but I think if I were to go back and purchase again, I would definitely pick up the blush. It's very beautiful. Honestly, these are pretty different, right? I mean, they're pretty different in the pan. I don't think they look super different on the cheek. I'm on my way to work and I think that I'm going to be able to wear this look without anyone really noticing that I have two different shades on my cheek. But let me know what you guys think. What did you think of these three powder duos that I picked up from Westman Atelier? I would love to hear. I do think that the blush is my favorite. All right, that completes today's full face of Westman Atelier using the brand new powder duos. Let me know what you guys think of today's look. Let me know what you thought of the powder duos. I really loved the blushes. I thought that the blush was absolutely gorgeous. I can definitely see myself reaching for the blush quite a bit. As for the new bronzing drops, I really was very impressed. I thought that it was very beautiful, and I do actually prefer the side with the bronzing drops over the side that doesn't have them. And as I just mentioned, this lipstick is phenomenal. I'm really impressed. But As always, let me know down below what you guys thought of today's look and what you thought of today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video.